Hello family members, welcome back to today's video. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm called Elomo. I'm the face behind this brand, no, in front of this brand. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch our videos. I truly appreciate it. I'm grateful. So the purpose of this video is to help those who are planning to travel by sea. You all know that I traveled to Nigeria through sea, and I saw all the comments. Oh, are you not scared of water? Oh no, you should not enter the boat. Oh no, that boat does not have the capacity. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And some people were bold enough to just come and tell me, go and take flight next time. Uncle, be calming down. Did you give me the money to take flight? Do you know how much it is from Cameroon to Nigeria? And somebody even told me it's not just 150k for flights. I'm like, 150k, eh? Before all of us have not been booking flights left and right, it's almost 500 and something k. So I do understand that there are so many people who cannot afford 500 and something k to travel by plane, through air, so they resort to traveling by sea, which is faster than road. You all know I experienced both the sea and the road version of traveling to and back from Nigeria. So but in today's video, I'm just going to limit it to the things that you should consider if you plan on traveling by sea. So without wasting so much of your time, let's jump right into the video. Now, the first thing I want you to consider when you're traveling by sea is your dressing. Family members, you're going to travel by sea. Nothing is sure. Anything can happen. So you do not want to go and dress in suits and wear serious office shoe in tie. Don't strangulate yourself before the time. Do not overdress. When you're traveling by sea, you have to make sure you're wearing light clothes so that in the case of any gra, you will be fast enough, you will be light enough to be able to swim, to save yourself. Not necessarily swim even, just so that at least your life vest can save you, not your clothes pulling your life vest inside the water. Do you get? So you should make sure that your clothes that you're wearing, they are very light. Now, because you're going to be entering a flying boat, which I did, you're going to be on the high sea for over 4 hours. So you want to make sure that you have something to keep yourself warm, because they are moving in speed. It's very fast. It's not slow. And that constant breeze on your body, at some point you will get cold. But whatever you're wearing to keep yourself warm, it should be light. Now, there is something we call here in Cameroon blouson. I don't know how to translate it for my non-Cameroonians who are watching, but I'm probably going to look for a picture of it and put on the screen so you can see. It keeps you warm, but it's not heavy. It's not heavy like the pullovers and the whatever. It's not heavy, but it keeps you warm. It's thick but light. Do you get? So that's the perfect thing you want to use when you're traveling by sea to keep you warm, so that should, in case of anything, yet it's not heavy, it doesn't weigh you down. And when rain starts falling, even some of those blousons, their water doesn't penetrate into it. They have the texture they have outside, water doesn't penetrate into it. So that is the perfect dress you want to consider when you're traveling by sea. Now, the second option you want to consider when traveling by sea is your options for your safety vest. Now, you want to know if you are the one to provide your safety vest, or whichever means of transportation you're using, like the agency, if they are going to provide one for you. Like you all watched, I came with my personal life jacket. So some people go there and they're like, nah, I don't like the life jackets they're giving me in this boat. They are so dirty and all of that. And they end up not having a life jacket or a tube when traveling by sea, which is super risky. Like, we Africans, we just joke with our lives anyhow. We think that we'll have one spare life somewhere waiting for us. It's unbelievable. But anyway, you want to actually factor that into consideration, so that it's not like you're saying that you're just risking your life, or you're just giving your life in a platter of gold to somebody to just do anyhow. So make sure you consider what you want to use for your safety vest. If you want to buy your life jackets, please make sure you buy the life jackets before the trip. And if you're going to be using tubes they give to you at the shore, you should come prepared to buy them, right? Because a tube at the shore costs 2,000 francs CFR. So if you know you don't have a life jacket, that's a very affordable option for you, where you pay 2,000 francs and they put air into the tube and give you. And once you reach, you can always, like, they'll collect it back from you, they'll remove the air from it, and then they sell it to the next person who is coming back. It's just like that. So you don't have an additional load to carry on you. You don't feel like it's inconveniencing you. Now, I do know that we're in Africa, not everything goes by the books, right? But the standard law is that nobody is supposed to be allowed on the high sea without a safety vest. Either you have a life jacket or you have a tube, right? But you should like your life more than the government should even like your life for you. So you just have to make sure these things are available, because in water there are control people, safety control spots in water, where their function is to check all the boats that are passing to make sure that every individual in that boat is wearing a life jacket or has a tube on them. But you all know how Africa is, right? Sometimes you get to the control post and they just settle the control people and you go ahead, but that is not to your advantage, right? They are making their money, but should in case something happens to you in front, you're not going to tell God that, God, I settled to our control man somewhere, so I did not have to, this thing did not have to happen to me. So you get, so just make sure that you're on the safe side. You have your safety vest with you. Should in case they ask for it in the water, because you have to actually present it, they'll ask you like, where is yours, you should have. And if you don't have, you have to settle them. But I'll encourage you, do not go to the settling option. Make sure that you make this, like, you know which option you're going for before you even make that trip. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is you should be comfortable with seeing so much water and touching a large body of water. Now, I know a lot of people are scared of water. Like, that video actually made me realize the amount of people that are so scared of water. I think there is a word that they call it, the fear of water. There is a word. I'm probably going to leave it on the screen. Like, so many people were like, you are trying, you guys have courage to go through that route. Look at all the water, like all of this. I would have fainted, I would have collapsed if I was the one. I was like, is that how a lot of you guys are scared of water? So make sure that if you're taking that route, you can sustain seeing a large body of water and you be in the middle of nowhere and you're still okay, right? Like, you don't start panicking, because some people, once the boat gets to the middle of nowhere where they cannot see any land around them, all they see is water, it's scary to them. But for me, that was not the case. So you have to condition your mind that you're going to see so much water to the point where you actually feel like you're walking on land, because you see so much water and you think that water is your land. And you have to be comfortable with the sea water touching you. Now, people have their various skin diseases, people have their various things they are suffering from, right? But if you're going through this route, you should know that there is no how, like, I don't know, there is no way you can do it to avoid sea water from touching your skin. Sea water must get to you, as in, while the boat is going on high speeds, water is flashing on you. Like, it's just a whole lot. And rain might fall as well, right? So you should just know, you should just have it at the back of your mind that sea water will eventually touch you, because the sea water touched us and touched us well, especially when the driver, when he's trying to like change the gear, he's trying to move from one gear to another. There is something they do that the water spins, the fan under the boat, it spins the boat, and then the water now just comes on you guys. Like, I could not capture that particular experience, because my phone will get wet, and seawater is so dangerous with phones. I do not want to hear me stories that will touch my heart. But just condition your mind that seawater is going to touch you. That's why you need to wear light clothes, so that as you're traveling, the water is touching you, it is getting dry. You're traveling, it's touching you, getting dry. Because if you wear thick clothes and you get wet, it's not easy for them to get dry, right? So you'll be stuck with wet clothes on you, and you might develop a cold, and that's something you definitely don't want to. Another thing you should know is that there are so many control posts in water. This is something I don't think, nobody ever prepared me for this. They just told me that there is control in water, so I just knew that, oh yeah, there should be a control in water, right, to just maintain order. But family members, there are so many control posts in water, from Cameroon to Nigeria. You get to some points where you have to settle in France CFR because you're still in Cameroon water. Some of the control posts you get to before you cross the border, just so you're not confused, they have a flag there. They will tell you which control post it is, if it is a Cameroonian control post, or if it's a Nigeria control post, or if it is mixed. You see both flags flying there, so you know that this control post is mixed. But family members, there are so many control posts, and you settle according to how you find it, right? If you're still in Cameroon waters, you'll be settling the control post in Cameroon, France. And if you're crossed to Nigerian waters, you settle the control post there in Naira. But they don't really follow this strictly. If you get to a particular control post and you're like, oh no, you're short of France CFR, all what you have is Naira, because you have changed all your money on you since you're entering into Nigeria, they would understand and collect the Naira. So they do collect both Naira and France in the water interchangeably, right? So just make sure your money is prepared. There should be like 6 or 7 control posts in the water before you get to Nigeria. And if you're a foreigner, once you cross Cameroon borders, once you start meeting the control posts in Nigeria water, they ask you Cameroonian or Nigerian. Cameroonians pay more. I think Cameroonians pay 3,000 francs per control post, and Nigerians pay 1,000 francs per control post when you cross the borders. Now just prepare yourself, prepare your money, hold your money, because these people are not laughing in water. Oh. So just anchor your boat. Do you get? They have these anchor ropes. Like if you don't come and give them the money, they'll just come and just anchor your boat to their own boat in water, and you guys are not going anywhere. And once you give their money, they just let you go quietly. They don't ask you any other questions or try to make you prove your nationality or anything like that. Once you give them money, you just go. So you don't find yourself in a position where you're the one who is delaying the entire boat and everybody's climbing on your head and shouting on your head, or you're frustrated, something like that. Now, the next thing I want you to consider when you plan on traveling by sea is that there is an option of rain falling. See, I want you to know that in as much as weather forecast is here to help us, to tell us like what the weather is going to be in the next day, the next 2 days, and all of that, it's just nature, right? It is nature. You could check your weather forecast and you see that this day rain is not going to fall, and you make your trip for that day, and by the time you guys get on water, it starts raining. Yes, it's possible. So you should know that it is possible for rain to meet you guys where you are in water. So you want to make provisions for that kind of a situation. If it should happen, you should have your raincoat. By the shore, they usually sell these plastic wrappons that you wear. I think they sell one for 1,000 francs, which you can wear on you when rain starts falling, to just like help protect you and all of that. That's why before you even go on the boat, they insist that you wrap your bags with the plastic wrapper and the sellotape it round, just like what you guys are seeing, so that in the instance where it starts raining, your box is safe, it doesn't get wet, and you yourself, if you have the plastic wrap, you can easily just put it on so you don't get wet. But you can also buy your raincoat yourself before getting to the shore, right? These are the things you could do before you by yourself, before even going to the shore and start asking them if they have or they don't have. You could prepare all your things for yourself so that you know you're safe all around. So that's what I want you to understand. Rain might fall. Just have it at the back of your mind that rain might fall. So however you're dressing, however you're doing, just know that there is a possibility that it might rain. And when it starts raining, family members, just know that you activate walking mood, because you guys will have to literally be carrying water from the boat and pouring it back out to the sea, depending on how heavy the rain is. If the rain is so heavy and it's really entering into the boat, you guys will be pouring and throwing it out. And if it's so bad that the person driving, he might tell you guys that you guys will have to make a U-turn, you guys will have to go back, or you guys might have to deviate and stay in a particular village which is nearby, because it's too rough, the sea is too rough, he cannot continue like that, it's not safe. So whatever the captain tells you at this point, you cannot even argue. See, just keep your big English and grammar to yourself, keep whatever you studied in the university, geography, all those things you studied, just keep it to yourself. And it's their route, right? They know, they know the weather, so they can tell you that, oh, if it has started raining here like this, they can see in front and tell you that, oh, in front is worst, so the water will be too rough for us. So don't argue, don't insist to go ahead. Anyway, they tell you that, oh, let's camp at Bakassi for the night and wait for tomorrow when the water must have settled for us to continue. My sister, my brother, do not argue. Just look for your place quietly and sleep and rest and wait for some hours time before you guys can continue the journey. So that's one thing I want you to have at the back of your mind, so that it shouldn't meet you as a surprise and then you start being frustrated and you're anxious, anxiety steps in and all of those things. Just have the back of your mind that yes, it might rain. Now the second thing is there is a risk of the boat sinking, capsizing with or without rain. That's one thing I want you to know. Rain might fall, the boat gets too heavy, something, the water gets rough and you guys capsize. That's why it's important to always have your life jacket, because you never can tell, right? And at the same time, the waters can be rough without rain falling. Do you get? The waters they can tell you that the waters are so rough, but it's not raining. You're looking at the weather like it's not raining. Why is it rough? But the water is rough. You will not go and ask the water why it is rough. They themselves will tell you that it's nature, it's beyond their control. They cannot control it at this point. So at that point, it's survival for the fittest. Anything that wants to happen, if the boat wants to capsize or anything, just be fighting for yourself. So that's why I'm saying that in as much as there are no strict rules and regulations that follow up to make sure that everybody is wearing a life vest, because we're in Africa and we know how things work, but I want you to know that for your own safety, you should make sure that you have one on yourself when you're traveling. It saves your life, it makes things easier for you, because at least you could float for a bit, like your head could be suspended above water where you're getting enough oxygen until help comes. So you by yourself, you want to get prepared by yourself for every unforeseen circumstance, just so you give yourself and your life the best chance possible to survive. That being said, I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching to this point. I'm truly grateful. Like, if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video with anybody you know. Just share this video. And if you haven't subscribed to me, can you explain to me why you have not subscribed? Like, take the microphone and explain to me why you have not subscribed. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in the next one. I'm going to see you guys unfailingly by the help of God over the next one. Bye.